in the previous section, in the previous class, we have studied ideal solution and non-ideal solution. Today, I'm going to recapitulate that particular topic within 5 minutes, and then we will further start non-ideal solution and its two types. In the very last class, I have just shared with you a little brief discussion of non-ideal solution. That non-ideal solution doesn't obey Rolle's law, but that was the incomplete statement. Today we will discuss how Rolle's law when Rolle's law is not followed, which particular two types of situations would arise. All right. So first, let me recapitulate the previous class, and then we will start non-ideal solution and its types. Okay. So in the very last class, we have discussed Rolle's law, which told us that in Rolle's law we have studied the partial vapor pressure is directly proportional to partial vapor pressure of pure solvent and its mole fraction. That means we have written P1 equals to P1 naught x1. And we have shared that this is a kind of modified form of Henry's law, which is known as P1 equals to KHX. That's it. Now, in Rolle's law, with the help of Rolle's law, we have said that we have two different type of solution, that is ideal solution and non-ideal solution. If I have started ideal solution, we have discussed that ideal solutions are those which obey Rolle's law. Ideal solution obey Rolle's law. Whereas if I'm talking about non-ideal solution, this particular type of solution do not obey Rolle's law. Now, if non-ideal solutions do not obey Rolle's law, then what is the case behind this? That how can we describe it further in two different situations? So basically, if non-ideal solutions do not obey Rolle's law, we have its two different variations, that is positive deviation and negative deviations. So basically, we have non-ideal solution with two types, positive deviation and negative deviation. Now, what does it mean? What actually deviation is? Deviation means to move away, or we can say to diversion, or we can say like we are going on a straight path and then due to any obstacle, we are moving to another path. So basically, we can say this is a kind of bhatkav. Like we are going in the same situation, we're going in the same path, and when some obstacles occur or then some situation arise, due to which we deviates from our main path. So non-ideal solution means positive deviation and negative deviation. How can we describe that positive deviation and negative deviation? In the last class, we have studied that some kind of non-ideal solutions are those which have interactions between the molecules within themselves and interaction between molecules when two different liquids are mixed. Let me take an example. Suppose I have ethanol and let me take aniline. Suppose we have ethanol and aniline. We have put a beaker in which first is we have mixed ethanol and another one is aniline. When we put both the solution ethanol and aniline, what would happen? We know very well that if we put ethanol or aniline as solution number A and solution number B, as we have discussed in the previous class, let if we take it as solution number A and this one as solution number B, now what would happen? If we have two different kind of solutions, in this particular case, let we have the interaction between ethanol and the interaction between ethanol and aniline. So what does it actually mean? Let me further modify this in a kind of situation. Let we have, suppose in a beaker, there is pure solvent. That means there is only ethanol. If we have only ethanol, we know very well, we have studied in 11th standard, the formula of ethanol is C2H5OH. All right. So there is a molecule of C2H5OH. Same as it is, there is another molecule of C2H5OH. That means we have 2 moles of C2H5OH which are shared, just a second, which are combined up, which are present in a liquid, which are present in a beaker. When we have these 2 type of solution, so this particular solution, we have ethanol and ethanol. These ethanol have hydrogen bonding between them. We know very well, we have studied in the 11th class or in the 9th and 10th class that there is a kind of bonding known as hydrogen bonding. That means these particular molecules would bind through hydrogen bonding. This is a kind of interaction known as AA interaction. Now, what would happen if we put aniline into it? If we put aniline into this particular ethanol, what would happen? If we put aniline into ethanol, there would be insertion of that particular molecule into molecules of ethanol. I'm again repeating, we have only ethanol. Now we put aniline into ethanol. What would happen? The molecule of aniline would insert into ethanol and their hydrogen bonding would be breakdown. Their hydrogen bonding would be breakdown. So in short, I can say AA interaction is weaker than AB interaction. So what would happen? If AA interaction is weaker than AB interaction, what would happen? It's quite simple that the solution would try to move and this will increase the vapor pressure. If the vapor pressure would increase, what would happen? Our solution would show positive deviation. I hope I'm clear. Should I repeat again? So in this particular case, I have just discussed that we have 2 type of solutions. So we have 2 type of liquids in a particular solution, that is ethanol and aniline. And in ethanol and aniline, we have taken another example that we have ethanol in the beaker, we have put only ethanol. Then what would happen? There is a strong bonding which is known as hydrogen bonding, that is AA interaction. Now we are putting aniline into it. When we are putting aniline into it, what would happen? The hydrogen bonding would be broken down only due to that particular aniline molecule. So AA interaction is weaker than AB interaction, and this would lead to positive deviation. This would lead to positive deviation in the vapor pressure. So this is known as non-ideal solution with positive deviation. I hope I'm clear. Now we would move to another topic, that is non-ideal solution with negative deviation. Now what actually it defines that non-ideal solution we have already, but with negative deviation. See, if I'm talking about the positive deviation, we have taken the interaction only. And we have said that AA interaction must be weaker than AB interaction. Okay. Now in negative deviation, the case would be just reversed. And it would say us AB interaction is weaker than AA interaction. I hope I'm clear. This is just reverse of this particular situation, which is known as non-ideal solution with positive deviation. In negative deviation, AB interaction must be weaker than AA interaction. And if I would clarify it with the help of an example, I would take example of chloroform and acetone. I would take an example of chloroform and acetone. Let me have chloroform. This is of positive deviation, the upper one, and this one is for negative deviation. We have taken chloroform, that is CHCl3. Now, in CHCl3, we are putting further, we're putting acetone. Now, when acetone is mixed up with acetone formula is this one. That means we having ketone. Okay. In acetone and chloroform, when we mix up them together, their interaction must be weaker than only chloroform-chloroform interaction. All right, so this kind of particular deviation is known as non-ideal solution with negative deviation. So this was the topic which we need to describe before going to higher classes. And I hope you're clear about this. So basically, Rolle's law, what has it defined? Rolle's law means we have taken the partial vapor pressure of two particular liquids, and the liquids are volatile, which can be easily evaporated. Okay, and if we put those particular liquids together and we try to evaporate them, what would happen? The partial pressure would be proportional to the partial vapor pressure of pure solvent that we have discussed, which is just modified form of Henry's law. Okay? And further from this particular situation, from this particular Rolle's law, we have two types of solution, ideal and non-ideal. And non-ideal have further two types, positive and negative deviation. And both this deviation only and only dependent upon the interaction, the intermolecular force attraction. Okay, if we are taking example of ethanol, there is strong interaction, but if we put acetone into it, what would happen? Sorry, aniline into it, what would happen? The molecule further get insert and the interaction would be lower down. The interaction would be weaker down. So that's the first case. And if we put another example in which AB interaction is already weak. Okay, I hope I'm clear. Positive, let me just try to remind this. Positive means the same and negative means the two different liquids. Positive means the same interaction and negative means interaction between two different liquids. Okay, so that was the topic. Now we further move to another topic, that is azeotrope. Next topic is azeotropes. What actually azeotropes define that we have. Okay, class, azeotropes might come in 2 to 3 marks. Like we have a question, write a short note on azeotropes. In your CBSE exam, in their final board exam, we have a question, write a short note on azeotropes. So basically, this is just a theoretical portion, so you have to bear it up. Like we have don't any physical derivation or something. But azeotropes is just a definite theoretical portion which says us that it depends upon Rolle's law, yes, but it says it is a kind of mixture of two solutions which boil at constant temperature. I'm again repeating, azeotrope is a mixture of two liquids which boil at a constant temperature, and this is known as azeotropes. Okay. Let we have further. Yes, we have two types of azeotropes, maximum boiling azeotrope and minimum boiling azeotrope. You should not be stressed about this particular topic because it's not so much important. Another thing is it's not so much vast and so much clear in your book or somewhere else. So this kind of topic. So this type of topic, just don't stress about it. Just have a quick reason. Just have in your mind that if it would come in your exam point of view, we have just 1 to 2 marks that what are azeotropes, and we would say azeotrope is nothing. It's just a mixture of two liquids, and those liquids boil at a constant temperature. Again repeating, azeotrope is a mixture of two liquids which boil at constant temperature. Okay. And now we have two different types of azeotrope, maximum boiling azeotropes and minimum boiling azeotropes. Both these azeotropes are just opposite to non-ideal solution. Like if we are having maximum boiling azeotropes, these are those particular type of solutions which shows negative deviation in non-ideal solution. And if I'm talking about minimum boiling, then what would I say? That it would show positive deviation in non-ideal solution. That's it. Okay. Just don't stress about it. Just have a quick look and revise it. Please write into your notebook and just have a short form of revision in your mind. Okay, that's it. So this was the topic which was kind of backlog we were studying in solution, ideal and non-ideal solution, Rolle's law, Henry's law, that was it. Now we have a very fresh topic and we have enough time. We have very fresh topic which is known as colligative properties. Super important topic for your exam point of view, for your higher studies, even if you go to a master's, BSc or PhD, this topic is very important and quite simple, quite important. Let's have a look. The next topic is colligative properties. What colligative property defines? Let me have a look. Let me check. Okay. Colligative properties. What is colligative properties? All right. Let's say have a look. Colligative is made up basically of two words, coll and gative. That means collision, or we can say combine, and gative means dependent upon number. So basically colligative properties is made up of a particular Latin word which defines that all those properties of solution which depend only on the number of molecules of the solute or solvent rather than the nature is known as colligative property. I'm repeating it again. All those properties of solution which only and only are dependent upon the number of molecules of either solute or solvent rather than the nature is known as colligative property. So I would say dependent upon only number of solute particles, not on the nature. I hope I'm clear. Colligative property just depend upon the number of particles, not on the nature. What does it mean? Not on the nature. Okay, we have taken an ideal solution and non-ideal solution. What would we have taken? We have ethanol, and we're putting another liquid, that is acetone. What would happen? There would be some deviation, either it is positive or negative. But the point is, the main concept is we have a particular type of solution, a particular nature of liquid, which would affect the whole nature, which would affect the whole property. But colligative property defines that we don't care about the nature. We don't care about any example. We don't care about hydrogen bonding. We don't care about van der Waals force, nothing else. Just we have a look that we have only number of particles which would define these all properties. Okay, so that was it. Now let we have which kind of colligative properties to read. We have total 4 to 5 properties. First one is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Next we have elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, and last one is osmosis. Lowering of vapor pressure, elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, and the last one is osmosis. All these terms are very familiar to you. You know very well what is vapor pressure. You know very well what is boiling point. You know very well what is freezing point. But osmosis is quite new to you. So we will discuss these all properties one by one with their mathematical derivation. Okay. So we would discuss then their physical nature, their physical significance, and then we would have its mathematical derivation. All right. So let me start with our first derivation, that is vapor pressure. And what's happening with this vapor pressure? Okay, let me have relative lowering of vapor pressure. Now, when we have studied vapor pressure, we know very well that vapor pressure is only the case when we have a solute and solvent rather than pure solvent. What I'm saying? Like if we have vapor pressure, we know very well okay, see, if we're going to discuss vapor pressure, we know very well that when we have two kind of liquids, both these liquids are volatile in nature, both these liquids are so much easily evaporated that when we put them into a beaker, let we have a kind of solvent that is pure solvent. Suppose we are having water. So its vapor pressure is something, but if we put another solute or any kind of impurities, what would happen? This particular vapor pressure would decrease. So in short, I can say, let me have vapor pressure of pure solvent equals to P1 naught and vapor pressure of solution. What means solution? Solvent plus solute. P1. Okay. So we know very well when we put solute into the solvent, the vapor pressure would decrease due to presence of impurities or due to presence of foreign particles. Okay. So in short, we can say lowering means decreasement, lowering means going down. So in short, we can say P1 naught minus P1 equals to delta P. This is known as relative lowering of vapor pressure. Now we would have a mathematical derivation on it. We know very well that in Rolle's law we have studied delta P equals to P1 naught minus P1. Okay, in Rolle's law, what we have studied? In Rolle's law, we have studied P1 equals to X1 P1. This was the basic rule of Rolle's law. Now, we know very well that delta P equals to P1 naught minus P1. So, if we put delta P1, that is P1 naught minus P1 equals to X1 P1 naught. That means we are having P1 naught is our same, but P1 is our X1 P1 naught from this equation. Okay, let me start from very beginning. We know very well this is pure solvent P1 of solution would be P1, delta P equals to P1 naught minus P1, which defines lowering. First point. Second point is from our Rolle's law. We know very well delta P1 equals to P1 naught minus P1. We have just taken this. If we put value of P1 from the Rolle's law into this equation, what would we have? Delta P1 equals to P1 naught minus X1 P1 naught. Now, if we have a P1 naught common, what would happen? 1 minus X1 is equals to delta P1. Okay. Now, we know very well that the mole fraction is equals to X1 plus X2 equals to 1. We have studied in the very last class, X1 plus X2 must be equals to 1. Mole fraction must be equals to 1. So if we have 1 minus X1, X2 equals to 1 minus X1, we can put this particular thing into this equation. What would happen? I'm going from here to here. We are having delta P1 equals to P1 naught X2. Okay. Now let's divide this particular equation with P1 naught. Delta P1 on dividing with P1 naught on both sides to P1 naught x2 divided by P1 naught. P1 naught से P1 naught is cancelled out. Delta P1 is known as P1 naught minus P1 divided by P1 naught equals to x2. This is our general equation. We know very well that our mole fraction is totally dependent upon the number of molecules, and we know very well that mole fraction x2 must be equals to n2 over n1 plus n2. This is the basic definition, you know very well. Okay. Now, let we are having this particular solution is so much diluted that n2 is much lesser than n1. This situation is just to make this particular complex equation to very simple equation. So just to remove the complexity, just to make our equation very simple, what would we do? We would dilute the solution so much that we would get only P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught equals to n2 over n1. Why is it so? Because n2 is much lesser than n1. Okay, now that's it. We know what is number of moles. Number of moles is mass over molar mass. That means P1 naught minus P1 upon P1 naught equals to W2 over M2 upon W1 over M1. I would solve it and we will get the final equation. That is W2 M1 upon W1 M2. That's it. This is the whole equation which we have studied in the relative lowering of vapor pressure, which is the first correlating law. Okay, so this is very important. The derivation is very important, and also numericals on this particular topic are very important. Okay, so that was it by my side. Let me recapitulate this particular equation, and then we would have queries. Okay. So let me recapitulate in a very fast manner. That is what is colligative property. Colligative property is nothing. It's a kind of property of solution which only and only depend upon the number of particles. And that we have seen in this particular equation. We have only number of particles, not any other thing, not any kind of nature, not any kind of interaction. Okay. Now we know very well that if we have vapor pressure of pure solvent, that is P1 naught, and if we put any solute into it, its vapor pressure would decrease. So this is P1, this is P1 naught. According to this equation, according to lowering of vapor pressure, we would get delta P1 equals to P1 naught minus P1. P1 naught is vapor pressure of pure solvent, P1 is vapor pressure of solute plus solvent, which must be less than the pure solvent. Clear? Then we would go to the further higher topic. This is our Rolle's law. P1 equals to x1 P1 naught. We would put this equation into this particular equation. When we put P1 equals to x1 P1 naught into P1 naught minus P1, we would simplify it in this form. And from the basic definition of mole fraction, we would take 1 minus x1 equals to x2. We have put delta P1 equals to P1 or x2. We would further simplify it by dividing with the help of P1. And after all the equations and all numerical properties, what would we do? We just put it into the number of moles, that is N2 by M. That's it. This is known as relative lowering of vapor pressure and its mathematical derivation. Okay. So that's it by my side, class. If you have any kind of doubt, you may please ask. Sir, can we have students unmuted, please? Sorry for that. Sir. बच्चों को एक बार क्वेश्चंस पूछने के लिए अनम्यूट करें। सर सुनिए। Sir, I want students to be unmuted, please, for the queries. All right, class. Meanwhile, I would just like to discuss with you that you should prepare notes, well prepared written notes of this particular chapter solution. And I would try within 2 to 3 days, I would give myself written notes to you in the form of PDF, and so I would share that in their group. And please be regular with your homework. Please be regular. Okay. Students, you can unmute yourself. If you have any kind of queries, you may ask me, please.
एक्सक्यूज मी मैम, अगर हम वाटर में स्ट्रॉन्ग एसिड्स डालेंगे तो कौन सी डेविएशन